On to new business, as Councillor Weems said. Item number 115, the Town Council recognizes Susan Weems from Brunswick Public Art and will take any appropriate action. And I'd like to ask Councillor Shedd to introduce this item.
Thank you, Chair King. Could you join me, Susan, please? I'm very happy to read this resolution to the council. The Town of Brunswick resolution in recognition of Susan Weems for extraordinary leadership at the Brunswick Public Art. Whereas Susan Weems has served faithfully as president of Brunswick Public Art since its founding in 2010, and whereas she has worked with the town to ensure the Brunswick Public Art captures the spirit, values, visions of our diverse community, and whereas under her leadership in Brunswick Public Arts has completed more than 20 projects in Brunswick, enlivening public space in the town spaces by quality art in locations where our citizens and visitors live, work, play, and whereas Brunswick Public Art projects highlight the beauty, natural landscape, and dedication to healthy living, community vitality, sustainability, and the importance of the arts education for our children and the history of our region. And whereas Brunswick Public Arts projects have been designed and planned with a broad community involvement through collaboration with many individuals and organizations. And whereas Susan Weems has endeavored to ensure that diversity of voices have participated in the works of Brunswick Public Arts, including many students from our public and private schools. And whereas Brunswick Public Art has not asked the town for any money and has successfully secured funding for arts installations in a wide variety of sources, including local businesses, banks, private individuals, and foundations. And whereas Susan Weems has led the Brunswick Public Arts as an all-volunteer, public-purpose Maine charitable organization, therefore it be resolved that the Brunswick Town Council expresses its deep appreciation for the outstanding contributions made by Susan Weems during her years of service in the support of Brunswick Public Art, and extend its best wishes as she approaches her well-earned retirement. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be entered into the permanent minutes of Brunswick Town Council. Signed on this day, the 5th of August, 2024, Abby King, Chair, Brunswick Town Council. Thank you very much. To make a few remarks and it'll be a short slideshow.
Thanks, Nat, and thanks, Jim, who is hiding behind the post over there. I know you're behind this. So I'll start with the origins of Brunswick Public Art, which was the Dance of Two Cultures mural created by Bitska I didn't know you put this one in there. Started in 2000. It took 3 years to do this mural. And after that, I was exhausted. So it took me about 2 years to say, oh, I think it's time to start again. So in 2010, no, let me go back here. Nat already said that this was an all-volunteer organization, right, that we raised money for all the projects using no town money. 95% of the funds went into the projects, and many projects had an educational connection and focused on kids, which meant every school in Brunswick was involved, including Family Focus, St. John's, Harpswell, Coastal Academy, Bowdoin, and SMCC. And I have 3 important people to thank. Mark Wetley in 2010 sat down with me, and since I had no money and he did as chair of the Bowdoin Art Department, and taught a public art class. Those were the first 3 projects that we did. Perfect sense. The second group to thank is the rec department. Tom Farrell and Jay Astle said yes every time, regardless of what it was I was asking for. And they let me do things they probably shouldn't have, but I was really great because they had a lot to clean up afterwards, like the railings. But they said yes. And the Brunswick Public Art Board, of course, we couldn't have done anything without them, especially Sally Costello, who is a person who makes things happen, and Jenny Driscoll, who was my school connection, and Steve Weems, who definitely, it couldn't have happened for the last 10 years because money was involved and that wasn't my specialty at all. So thanks to Steve, who took care of the finances. Okay, we can do the slideshow.
Can you hold on just a second?
Yes.
Before we leave this slide, could you explain the importance of this slide and its location and its significance to Brunswick's heritage history?
Yes, Brunswick is a sister city to Trinidad, Cuba. And as a matter of fact, I went in 2005, but I think they started creating this connection in 2001. And this mural is a combination of Cuban people and Brunswick people, including Joshua Chamberlain in the middle there, and Longfellow is in there somewhere, and the artist is hanging things off of a line in the way back. Lots of people in there, as a matter of fact, local people in there. And we are still a sister city to Trinidad, Cuba. We're just not traveling there right now.
And I also would note that Brunswick donated the stage curtains that was in the old Brunswick High School on Spring Street to Trinidad because they have a performing arts thing. And we sent, and their curtains were rather dilapidated, as Councilor Walker's wife went down to Trinidad on a visit. I guess that's the word I want. And it was reported that they were in bad shape, and the curtains that were at the old Brunswick High School went to them.
Okay, this was one of the Bowdoin Public Art class pieces. This was the first one on the Hannaford banners. This is also from the Bowdoin Public Art class, and this is located in the outpatient clinic. And Lucy Walker, who did this, she was in Mark Whatley's public art class her freshman year, which was unusual. She finished it in November of her senior year, and her entire style of art had changed, and yet she had to keep going in the style that she started with. Okay. Miles Chapin, The Haven. This is one that most everybody knows. And this is one of my favorite projects because Amy Crosby started it at Coffin School. These were student art pieces that Carrot Signs actually put on some aluminum sheets so that they could be outside. And when Coffin closed and moved to, what is it? Thank you, Kate Furbish. She took all of those paintings down and just kept adding. That's got to be one of the greatest things about that school. Thank you. This is a Tom Farrell, yes. That front sign was done by Brunswick High School students, and the other pictures that took paint off the wall, and he never complained, were done by kids from all the schools. And those were 2 Bowdoin students with me in that picture. Sorry, I forgot. And this is the way we operated. Carl Saylor was sitting in a chair at the celebration for Miles Chapin's sculpture, and somehow we ended up deciding to put his birches in that little opening between Coolers Moose and Centers. It worked, and we got people to pay for it. This came out of, actually, a John Bisbee public art class, and was very beautiful on the wall. It just didn't do too well outdoors on the bridge, but it was beautiful. This was a fabulous project, and it looks great, and you can imagine what a snowy winter day did to it. As the wind came across that field, it was gone. But this project was done using SMCC biology students in South Portland and photography students in Brunswick. It was a wonderful project. And another Tom, yes, but this was a good decision. This was a fabulous mural. And she would have kept going, however, as he knows. But it's a fab. And I had some of the people in here walk that course, and so you get to walk by it all the time. It's worth a visit. It's a wonderful mural. This was an SMCC project by students that didn't have a lot of money, and they did the best they could with what they had. And it was just important to include them. And this was a historic photo. New pictures are down there now, but this was our project with the Pajebscott History Center. And hopefully, it's time to change these, so we need to find somebody who's going to raise their hand and to do the work to come up with 6 new pictures. Same. And this was ARRT group of artists, and we got this here before a lot of the asylum seekers even had arrived. So this was, I don't know who said yes to this one. Did you have to say yes to this too? No. Who did that? I don't know who. I had to ask.
Probably would have been Don Eldridge.
Yeah. I don't even, did I ask him?
Actually, it's Eldridge on the council.
Eldridge and the council.
Well, it's a winner. Just wonderful. And this was one of the many public art pieces that Hannaford, what would the word be? Hannaford was so positive about whatever we wanted to do. All businesses should be so accommodating. And of course, they paid for it, which makes it really wonderful. So there was this one, and then this was done by SMCC artist, teacher, visual artist, and there's those were all done by Brunswick High School kids. So there are 3 different types of art in the Hannaford building downtown, and they paid for all of it, including this piece. That's not a good picture because it's much nicer than that. And this is The River's Voice, done by Andreas von Hune, and most of you have probably, I hope, hit some of those discs, and we've learned that the hard surface mallets work much better than the rubber ones, so we're replacing the rubber ones. and we've had to repaint the discs. A lot of projects do a lot of educating for everybody, and that's what life is, learning as you go. This sculpture got so much use during the pandemic. I used to sit there and watch either child care facilities or babysitters or whoever bring their kids here, and we're delighted with the timing for this. It was perfect. And this was during the pandemic, and this was at Merry Meeting Plaza. Then this included SMCC, Bowdoin, Brunswick High School. I think that's it. These were also done during the pandemic and look wonderful on Elm Street. I love these. And these are at the Welcome Center. There were 2 murals there done by the Art Van students, and this was one of the projects. Did you get involved with this, Sally? Yeah. That Sally was involved with. And you did involved with the Elm Street place? And the Merry Meeting. These are wonderful, just exactly what we had hoped for. And this is, I think, the last one that you'll see. Absolutely fabulous. Again, during the pandemic, and Tree Harmon Hester was a queen because of how she worked with kids and what they created. And there's artwork on both sides of these murals. And if you go down to the industrial park, you will see them. But one of those stands needs to be, who straightens those stands? We were just there. It needs to be straightened. They're gorgeous. I think that's it.
One more.
There is? Okay. They're beautiful. Okay, thank you. I'm done. Oh. That's bizarre. That I could forget the most controversial, the most difficult, the most amazing project. But yeah, many stitches. It's up there. And I have wonderful pictures of the young lady in pink, who is, I was her mentor since 2019 with Midcoast Literacy. And the young lady in the bottom right is now a first-year graduate student at Stanford. And we have pictures of both of them in front of it today. Yeah, the wires need to come down. Do you do that too? Thank you.
May I say a few words? Hi, I'm Sally Costello, Director of Economic and Community Development. I am so proud that you came today. She is one of the most humble people. And Steve Weems, you need to take some credit to. They have worked tirelessly. You can see how much they've done for our community. Public art is so important to the health and well-being of so many communities. And we're not stopping here. Susan knows that we have it so much around the downtown, but we don't have it so much on the east side. And it's one of the critical pieces to really building community and a sense of place. So we're working on a 2.0. We're not going to let her leave the Brunswick Public Art. Hopefully she's going to at least be there to help advise us. But I couldn't not say a few words to say just how proud and how much we appreciate all of the work she's done over all these years. Thank you.
I should have done that myself, because we actually have people interested in continuing this process. Someone has actually raised their hand to be the director, not saying that that's going to happen, but there you go. There are people out there interested in continuing this, and they will, especially with this person next to me.
Would the chair entertain a formal motion?
Yes, I would.
Okay. A motion to adopt a resolution in recognition of Susan Weems for her extraordinary leadership at Brunswick Public Arts.
Second.
I was going to say maybe Councillor Weems should second this, but I'll take the Ecker second. Is there any discussion on the motion? Councillor Weems.
Yes. I just want to say how incredibly proud I am of my life partner and in awe of what she's accomplished with BPA and how she did it.
All right. Before Councillor Epdegraff and I start crying, we hope our partners are speaking as proudly of us. But sincerely, thank you, Susan, for this. This is really incredible. And just to see how many, such a diverse cross-section of our town has been involved in these projects, it really brought people together and will continue to do so. And so thank you very much. This is really special work. All right, let's call this vote. Councillor Watson.
Yes.
Councillor Walker.
Yes.
Councillor Epdegraff.
Yes.
Councillor Hicks.
Yes.
Councillor Shedd.
Yes.
Councillor Weems.
Yes.
Councillor Ecker.
Yes.
Councillor McDonald.
Yes.
Councillor King is an enthusiastic yes. The motion passes unanimously. Thank you and congratulations, Susan.